Welcome back, everybody. Not been a whole bunch of news since I've been able to stream. I I'm not able to do anything on Friday through Sunday very easily. But welcome back. Thanks for showing up, Anthony. Today we're gonna play around and see if this case of the Mondays thing works out because basically, welcome, Victor. Basically Mondays, whenever I'm able to stream, I'm going to pick a player that I'm a little lower on than most people, and I'm going to go over why I believe that. I'm going to call it Case of the Mondays. I actually have a pretty good idea of what I want to do with it. Some graphic, like if I can never figure out graphics, know what I'm going to do. But today, Case of a Monday of the Mondays is Zay Flowers. Now, I don't hate Zay Flowers where he's going, but I'm definitely lower than most people. So like if you look last, this is player profiler for anybody who's not using had who has not used it or isn't aware. And this is fantasy points per game. So this is by full point PPR. Uh, there we go. I was blocked. My face was blocking the numbers. But by full point PPR, he only had one game, which was week 9, to where he was over 20 fantasy points a game. And in this game, we want spike weeks, right? He had 4 games that was over 17. So, I mean, that's not bad. But he's being drafted as wide receiver 24. Sorry, I can't get my cough button very well. He's being drafted as wide receiver 24. And I'm not sure that the amount of spike weeks he has versus the floor he brings is really worth that pick. As we can see here, in week 3, he was wide receiver 71, 5 points. He had a 5 point week, a 4 point week, another 5 point week, a 7 point week. That's a lot of under 10 point, and this is full point PPR. That's a lot of yeah, we will attack that in a second. So, like, yes, he put up he was wide receiver 11 week 2. He was wide receiver 14 week 5, 6, which was one of his best weeks in week 6, and then he was wide receiver 3 this one week. And other than that, he didn't eclipse wide receiver 20. Like he had an 11 and a 14. Yeah. Um so whenever we go to this chart, this column right here is the nuclear spike week, top 5, all that stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to sort by receptions, like receptions over 40 yard, because that's his game, right? And he did well at that. He's up here, number 16. That's solid. He had 1 touchdown on it. But I mean, I don't, and as a wide receiver, like talent wise, I love him. The biggest part of this whole thing is Lamar Jackson and his history with wide receivers. And that will be the final point. But Zay Flowers here, he had, let's say he regresses. He had 4 touchdowns last year, regresses positively to, let's say, 7, which is 18 points. That would be 1 extra fantasy point a game. That puts him at like wide receiver 29. That's still a little lower than where he's being drafted. Um, and with Lamar throwing 41 touchdowns last year and Zay only getting 4 of them, like I don't see him getting more than like 8 touchdowns in a season, at least currently. Now, Lamar did have his best year passing last year. So we will look at that. Now, this is the most wide receiver yards from a Ravens player with Lamar Jackson as quarterback by year. Now, Lamar has never had a talent as good as Zay Flowers. Some people will argue Hollywood. I like Hollywood, but I mean Zay is still better. And Zay's up here, but 1,059 yards is the most he's ever given to a wide receiver. That's a pretty low number. I I don't see, and Lamar threw for what was it, 4,000? Yeah, that might argue Hollywood, and I love Hollywood myself. Uh, but yeah, he had 4,000 yards. Like Lamar's a much better passer now than when Hollywood was there, and Hollywood had 900 or whatever yards. So these 2 years, yes, it's went up, but he still hasn't thrown to receivers as often, right? And so we'll go back to the Zay Flowers page here, and and go to the metrics. Now, the target share that he has is really good, number 18 in the league. The problem, hey, thanks for stopping by, Candyman. The problem is that only 13.1%, which you might not be able to see with this tiny print, was in the red zone. So, with that being said, like he would need to regress positively on yards, which Lamar doesn't tend to throw to wide receivers. Another Hollywood truther. Uh, not a bad place to be. But this is just my case on why I don't love Zay Flowers at his ADP at 24. And we'll go to the underdog rankings, and these are the players around him. Like Rashee Rice is absolutely going to pass him with the news that Rashee Rice may not end up being suspended this year. It may be a 2 years down the road thing. And then like you can kind of argue Zay Flowers within the other people, but the wide receiver one this year, Tet, like I want that upside. Cortland Sutton feels a lot safer to me. Like if you want floor, which I don't know, like Zay had a big game or two, but Sutton has as well. Addison, the same kind of thing. Like I think Zay is the top of this tier is the problem. And Hartman asked, "Do you think Zay could get more deep targets? Felt like they gave him a lot of screens because of the battle line. That is possible. Uh, he did have 4 40-plus yard receptions last year. I don't think my file has targets on it. Let me look real quick. No, it does not have that. But Chris Godwin here, like Chris Godwin to me should absolutely be above Zay Flowers. Like he was wide receiver 2 in points per game last year at 16.11 in 7 games. Like I mean, if you remove the Rashee Rice's down to 3 because he only played the very beginning of the one game where Mahomes blew up his knee. He's at 17, which is number 2, but the stats say it's 13. But Godwin's number 2. I just so there's a bunch of those receivers that are way under him that I like a little more. And on top of that, like you go to the running backs, and the running backs drafted around him. I'm not big on Mixon, but like you look at Mixon, Chuba, Kenneth Walker, Alvin Kamara, all of those I think are arguable to be in there. I know they go like an entire round later, and that's where I think his ADP should be. Another issue with him is it's very hard to stack him unless you pull him up above ADP, and then you're taking him in front of players like JMO or Devontae Smith or Worthy. And I I'm not willing to do that myself. Uh, anyway, that is my case. If you guys like it, let me know. If not, also let me know. Just put it in the comments. And uh, I was going over why I'm low on Zay Flowers. Yeah, so you go back to those running backs that I mentioned. And if we go to points per game, oddly, they're all like the same. Kamara here, Mixon, Chuba, Montgomery, Walker, all of them are 14 plus a game. And yes, running backs score more points per game, but Zay, even if he gets that positive touchdown regression that people talk about, let's say he gets 5 extra touchdowns. That's a point and a half. Right? So that would put him at 11-5, 11-6. That would put him exactly where he's being drafted. So if he gets the positive regression people believe he may get, that puts his ADP from his points last year to where he's being drafted this year. So that's my case. I just think that he should be drafted about a round later. And I don't have 0, but I'm not taking him above a lot of those other players. Anyway, I'm about to enter a draft. I will be entering in 10 seconds for anybody who wishes to join. I don't give a countdown. I just kind of guess what the 10 seconds is, and I have to enter on my phone. 6 of 12 for anybody who wishes to join. Hartman agrees. Anthony has very few Zay shares, and with you when you take Lamar, and to me it feels bad to have to pull. I would rather pull Lamar up to the with Ja'Marr Chase and take Zay over there if Zay makes it. Then I would rather do that than to pull him up above JMO myself. Solid. That's the only word that comes to mind. We'll get a few shares though. Yeah, and I'm not saying to be completely out on him, but I don't think he's a player that is worthy absolutely spamming. I think let's go look at my exposures and see where I'm at on him. I'm lower than I thought. 1.7. Talking Lamar early and letting Zay fall is smart. Yeah. Let me find this team I made, and this is my favorite team I have. It was a Baltimore Tampa Bay stack. Was this it? This is it. All right, so I pulled Lamar and Mike Evans up to the 2-3 turn. I got Lamar, Baker, James Conner, Judkins, Mason, Rachaad White, Guerrero, Martinez. Pulling Mike Evans up allowed me to double stack Chris Godwin. Got Rashee Rice, who now looks awesome. Higgins, Tillman, Yoshiva, Savion, Turpin. Got the stack of Mark Andrews back on that side as well because that's where his ADP is. Evan Ingram, Juwan Johnson. So I got the divisional possible correlation with Lamar Jackson and Ja'Marr Chase, which isn't going to be extremely popular. Now, I didn't end up getting, the plan was to take Zay there, but he wasn't there, so I took Godwin with Evans, which I think is better because it forced me into Baker, and Lamar Baker feels really good. This is my personal favorite team I have. Hey, look. Draft is starting. I pulled the 101. I guess it pays to stream. Maybe we'll try something fun. You did the exact same start last night. Ja'Marr, then Bucky, and Lamar at 3-1. Yeah. Bateman and Andrews both feel like a spike week player at the prices. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, so I didn't actually bring it up, but like last year, Lamar threw 1,000 yards to tight ends. He's always had a better tight end than wide receivers, so it's hard to really say much about that. But it feels weird to have naked Zay. And another thing that like dings Zay Flowers a little bit in my mind is you're never going to get the like it removes a possible stack for you later, right? So not that that's huge, but it does matter. Like if you're planning on taking some rookies, which I plan on taking some rookies, taking a player who I know I'm not going to be able to stack later, it's a little bit less enticing for me. Got Zay at pick 48 and went Little at 40. That, yeah. You mean Kittle, I assume? But yeah, bringing Lamar up with Jamar Chase. I think I might do it this draft. It is, I did it once. It worked out flawlessly. I don't feel like I have so much of the players I like around this area that like it didn't feel bad at all. It really didn't. Ah, streamer favoritism. Got it. You, if you want, you can say what you want to say. Hey, thanks for showing up, Cody and Gamblestein. Appreciate it. Cody off the Schneid is going live tonight, I believe at 8 p.m. Central. If you have not checked him out, check him out. He puts on a really good show and he thinks outside the box. I don't always agree 100% of what he says, but that's what makes this stuff fun. Uh, but he's always logical in the way he delivers things and the reasoning behind his thoughts, and it always makes you think a little bit. Okay, Cody got you to draft Terrence Ferguson a little more. Yeah, Terrence Ferguson is fun. Like, uh, I had Kyle Williams. He got onto Kyle Williams as soon as the NFL Combine happened. I had listed him because I seen some charts like him and Tesla, and there was one other player I put on my list to watch, and I hadn't watched him yet. And the next day, I went on to Cody's channel, and he talked about Kyle Williams for I. It was a while, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go watch him after this stream. And I watched him, and he looks as good as people say he does. Like he definitely looks the part. So in this draft, Christian McCaffrey at 11. I do need to start taking some CMC. The Matthew Berry thing kind of scares me. Where he said that the source that told him that Debo and Mason were both probably getting traded, that source said that McCaffrey's 100%. That I definitely need to get some more. And Neighbors falls to 14. That is, you went ahead and passed on Neighbors. Like, that's funny because you just took him backward. Whoever that is, just got him backwards. You got Brock Bowers. Bucky Irving gets pulled up with Almon. That's a player that if I'm going to pull to the 1-2 turn, Bucky Irving and T. Higgins are the two that have been living on this side of the board. Those are the two that when I do it, I'm going to, and even JT. Those are the players I would do it with. Pants get tighter when you watch Kyle Williams film. Yep, definitely. All right. I do think that I'm going to try. So, yeah, I might go ahead and try the Lamar thing here. I do. I feel like after Lad goes and Bucky, that this tier is basically just the same. Like that all the way down to the end of the third round. So do I go? I have 33% T. Higgins with. Yeah, I think I just do this. We'll go T and we'll go Lamar. We'll hopefully set up a stack. This means I don't even need to worry about Joe Burrow. If somebody snipes Joe Burrow, like, I'm not going to take him here, but if he falls back to 72, which is where he should be going, like, I smash it, right? What a day to be drafting. Took Zay late a couple times today. How late did you get him? Because I would be be into Zay Flowers if he goes at like 53 to 56. Like, I'm totally into that. But his ADP is like 44. And half the drafts I see he goes way above. All right, so apparently very few people agree with me on this. The poll ended 9 votes, 78% voted yes that he will finish above his ADP, and 22% said no. All right, Mike Evans gets brought up, and that's another player. Like, I was talking about Bucky Irving and T. Higgins and Jonathan Taylor moving up over here if you want to get different. Mike Evans is the player. Him and he's pretty much the main player I bring up, and Lamar sometimes up to this other side. Yeah, I would take some Zay if he ever fell to 53. Like, I would love that. I mean, if Zay falls in this draft, weirdly I might take him, although I'm low on him, just because I'm doing this weird double stack wish casting week 17 stuff, right? But he's not going to make it there because he just never does. I didn't shout out Aaron Sandy here is in the 3 hole. If you are drafting with me, let me know. If I do not know your username. Hey, welcome to the stream today, Ben. And sorry you got banned in a chat earlier for asking a question or something. Jack is in the your Jack. You are HD HDJ. Yeah, that's a lot of letters, all the same letters in different orders. I don't have the ability to read that. Hartman, he was wide receiver 24 last year. You could see him right around there. Was he wide receiver 24? Because in points per game, he was not in half point PPR. Maybe in full point PPR he was. You actually love this. Who you might steal this strat? Yeah, I did that draft I did where I got Baker. Like, it is by far my favorite draft that I've done, and it's late enough in the cycle, and I've seen so few people do this that I believe it's super unique with really good players. So I'm not gonna say anything about that. I like Spag. Spags is entertaining. You just typed in characters when you made your. That is. Would you have done this if you knew that it was incredibly hard to get your name changed on Underdog? Would you have used that same strategy in creating your name? Oh, in total points, not in points per game. Right. Like, and I don't. Total points, I guess, matters, but points per game is the metric I prefer. So it and like that's the one I'm looking. See, Zay Flowers, 44 every time. He's always just he goes there, and he's gonna get points. He's been reasonably healthy, and Lamar is a much better thrower now. Yeah, he was. It was a different show, but he did say he's not going to bring it back up. Uh, Hopefully, people don't continually push it, which we know that's what's going to happen. Everybody's going to go there and troll all the time. We'll see. I hope not because I do enjoy his content, and Spags is really good with data, so I like that stuff. Appreciated. All right, so what do I want to do here? Not going to take Joe Burrow. I think I definitely want Kittle. And I don't have any Tet McMillan with Jamar Chase, apparently. I think I'll just take Tet and Kittle and call it good. Um, so, not on Underdog as much, but on my DraftKings drafts, I've been taking a lot of Jalen Hurts naked in the fifth round. It feels so good to get, and Sacrilege just said this on a leg up thing with Garade. Like, him naked in round five when Josh Allen and Lamar go in like before the third round every draft, it feels like stealing, and I could not agree more. Yeah, that's why I was asking if you knew the information, would you have continued? I've always focused on average point per game in this format. Yeah, and it's kind of what do you want to do? I mean, injury stuff does matter, right? Also, if anybody is interested, um, I know Fantasy Sanctuary is going live. Emo Cowboy here in 3 minutes. I will not be offended if you want to go over there watch him. He does really good work. Uh, Jack says I made my account around when Underdog came out, but just started drafting again last year. I didn't even know about Underdog until the Zay Flowers drafter is doing the opposite of me. Zay Flowers with Naked Burrow. Liam changed his name. Guess you have to win BBM to get it done. Fantasy Tim just sniped my Daniel stack. Oh man, it is the absolute worst, isn't it? The absolute worst. So on DraftKings, if you're in the back half of the board, you can land the Jaden Daniels Terry thing reasonably often. On Underdog, I'm 180 drafts in, and I have yet to land a single Jaden Terry team. Fantasy Tim, okay, yeah. If they ban the tush push, you don't want naked hurt. Yeah, I just don't. I don't think that that's something that's even really an actual issue. You got Zay at 54 on a team where you started Neighbors T. That is an awesome team. Like, that feels good. And he has some spike ability. I just, I like a lot of the other receivers that are below him more. And I think I like these running backs a little more as well. You agree? Average points per game is better for projecting. I just think of total points, it's where a guy will finish. Yep. Meat Gazer. So I'm going to try to start streaming 4 p.m. Central on Monday through Thursday. I work on weekends. I work 312s. I do work overtime here and there, and on the days I work overtime, I have to work 12 hours a lot of the time. So on those days, I won't be able to stream, but for the most part, I'm going to do Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. Central, and do one draft for sure. Hopefully, two a lot of the time. Uh, They won't ban Tush Push. It's un-American. I agree. Glad you said that. I haven't got more than one Daniels McLaurin stack, and it's been months. Yeah, it feel and it's every time it is this exact thing that happened to Aaron Sandy. If I take McLaurin, the guy right before me takes Jaden Daniels, and Meg did that to me once. Shout out Fanspeak Network. They congrats to them, and also to Off the Schneid. Both of them hit 500 subscribers. Fanspeak did a little giveaway. I actually got lucky and won a couple BBM entries. Shout out them and thank you. That Zay team of 53 has Jaden, Debo, Terry. Oh, that is awesome. All right, so I'm going to look at this draft a little more, see if anything crazy has happened. I don't see anything crazy, like completely out of the ordinary. Sam Laporta is probably going to end up being one of my case of the Monday takes at some point as well. So we'll look at this. I definitely need a running back here. I might go with a running back and maybe Ricky. Hopefully, if Demont goes here, I'm probably just winging it at running back late. All right, so he goes. Jakobi Meyers goes. I don't want those other running backs. I don't know which one of these wide receivers I want. I haven't taken Ricky in a while. I have Kittle. I think I do a second double stack here. A double stack without a quarterback here. Probably going to get sniped on Purdy with another double stack, but naked Lamar, perfectly fine. Meat Gazer is a wild name, dog. Yeah, it is. It's one of my favorite names, honestly. If you ban the Tush Push, under what principle are you banning it? Good point. Hulk smashed potatoes. Just one Jaden McLaurin stack for me. Packers president Murphy is confident they can get it banned. I don't think it should be banned. I can't remember where I heard it, but I was listening to some people talk, and apparently it's like they only need 9 people to support it for it to not get banned or something. Like, I'm not positive that information was real, but I heard it. It stuck with me. I don't know how to find that information. So it's just something I heard and I'm keeping in my mind. And if that's true, there's like the entire coaching tree of the Eagles, like all of them are for it. And that's like 6 or 7 head coaches there, right? Player safety, Alex. Yeah, player safety. 60 drafts in, and you have 8. That is, yeah, and that's the other thing. Like Terry Jaden is another stack I've thought about just pulling up here, but I've seen Jaden follow the 4-5 a couple times. No, it's all good. Like you're a Commanders fan. It's fine. Like take your guys. Enjoy the game. You had to reach for the 1 stack too, but you don't love it. Thank you. Tyreek Hill tweeted out the peace sign again. Like he did that yesterday. I'm curious if he gets traded where it will go. Yes, this is an absolutely true. Waddle. The only reason I have 8% Waddle is because Tyreek might get traded. Yeah, correct. 24 owners have to veto for it to get banned. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't positive, but I'd heard something like that. So yeah, that would make sense. If they get 9 owners, that's all it takes. Coaches don't matter. Love that take. Coaches don't matter. I know that's not what you meant, but that I'll run with it anyway. The tush push reminds me of playing old electric football game. Yeah, the shaking machine. I don't remember what it was called. The one that they just all it's like a minor earthquake. Matt LaFleur refuses to QB sneak, which is part of it. Late in the season, they started using graph for it. Everything you say is absolutely true. I'm glad one person believes that. I'm happy for you. All right. Look at what's going on in the actual draft. Patrick Mahomes gets stacked with Rashee Rice. Baker goes over here. My second quarterback hasn't been sniped yet. Aaron Sandy's still on the board. Who knows what no good he could be up to. Uh, you got Bo Nix naked down here, but I don't mind naked Bo Nix down there. Marvin Mims can go down over here, and you can go Mims, Ingram, be perfectly fine. Like that's perfectly acceptable. Naked Caleb Williams stacked, and like I'm perfectly fine with Caleb Williams just being stacked with Cole Kmet. It's gonna be unique. He's got a little bit of rushing upside. We didn't see it much last year because of how bad the offensive line was. It could definitely play a part this year. Trey McBride with Kyler. Yep. Jalen Warren at 93 is a smash. I would have loved for him to fall. Like, my dream in this draft was to get Jalen Warren, Aaron Jones, or Pollard, one of those three, to fall to 96. I didn't expect it to happen, um, but I'm fine with it. Also annoying since Murphy is almost done as president. Um, which Murphy? I'm blanking for some reason. All right, I think I go ahead and just lock up my last quarterback. I think I just go ahead and skip on running back again. Go a little bit of just go deep at wide receiver and no, I think I'm going to take one of my very, very few Ramonde Stevenson shares here. I don't take him very often at all. This team does need a running back. I don't love this pick. I actually prefer Scatabo over Stevenson, uh, but I only have 2%, so I'll give him a share. It'll allow me to go a lot of rookies late. Mark Murphy, okay, okay, that's who I thought it was. I can't remember all the owners. It's not hard to be a zero RBT. Right, yeah, and that's another thing. Like, part of me thinks I should have went uh Andrews there, but Bateman falls back to the 120 50% of the time. And I'm okay just stacking likely. Like, I'll just pull likely up if I have to 120. Like, it's fine. It'd be fine. It's fine. I have not heard that. Thank you for the information. All right. Keon Coleman at 101. That doesn't happen a whole lot anymore. Before they signed Josh Palmer, I was a little in on Keon because Keon Coleman actually had the same amount of 40 plus yard receptions that Zay Flowers had, weirdly. And I know he didn't convert a lot of them and all of that, but like getting somebody who had 440-yard receptions, to me, that shows a sign of upside or spike week potential. but you're getting that in round 9 or usually 10 or 11. So I was in on him early, but they're probably going to draft somebody, and they signed Palmer and paid him a little more than I expected. So I've cooled down on that. I don't know what my exposure is on him. It's probably around 8% now. I was never super high. It was like 12 or so. Jared Goff has finally started to fall to the ninth round. I think that's where he should have been this whole time. Everybody who's been in on Amon-Ra has him stacked with Goff for so many times that a lot of them have started passing on him up here where Bo Nix, Caleb, and all them go. And now we're getting better Jared Goff teams on the wraparound because a naked Goff is not somewhere where most people want to be. What the 12 hole just did there with the last 3 picks. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said earlier. I said I don't mind the naked Bo Nix because you could just go Mims Ingram and pull it all together. I mean, I haven't done that before. Ingram was a Bronco. I took Bo here intentionally to pull up Mims or to get stacking with Mims a couple times, and this is just a better version of what I was doing. Like absolutely, like it's just flat better. Like no arguments, just tip of the hat. Good job. Hollywood Brown goes. Justin Herbert's also been falling in several of the drafts that I've been doing. For some reason, the lad, and probably they're just trying to push him back to 115. Also, if you haven't and you like the content, please like, and if you've not, also subscribe. If you're watching after the fact, and let me know what you thought of the start. What you think of it, if it's something that you would like me to do. We could disagree on the players, but just kind of going over some things and some people that I dislike at ADP. Isaiah Pacheco, I've been completely out on, and I'm still not a big fan of that pick, but I do think I'm going to start taking him in the 10th round reasonably often. I think the 10th round is kind of where he should be going. I have 0 shares of him, and being a Chiefs fan, I love the player. We got Aaron Sandy on board. Nailed it. This is my favorite thing to do in drafts now. Stefon Diggs in round 9. Drake May in round 10. Absolutely my favorite thing to do. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty positive they will draft somebody, but if they don't, he probably moves up to the or the Kenneth Walker, James Conner tier, right? Hey, look at that. It's almost like it was scripted. The 2 players, I almost took Scadabo, I almost took Andrews, and I get my stack a round later. I get exposure to a player that I don't really like with another player that I do like. I think this team is coming together pretty well. We're through 10 rounds. My quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy, both stacked, done at quarterback. Running back, Montgomery, Stevenson, Cam Scadabo, my hero. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, team stack, hoping for wish casting the Lamar stack, or on week 17 of the game. And then Ricky Pearsall, Rashad Bateman, George Kittle. So a double stack, Niners with Purdy. A single stack, Lamar with Rashad Bateman. A team correlation with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And just some dudes at running back. Diggs is going to be their volume hog. Yeah, and a lot of people are very negative on Diggs. Like, or they had been, and like let's say he misses 2 games. Like I'll bring up my sheet real quick. In points per game, Stephon Diggs last year was actually pretty high. He was wide receiver 19 last year in points per game. Um, 12 points a game. Like he's going to have much less competition. Although they did use him in the slot role, I don't know if they're going to be able to use him. Like I know that Hunter Henry, I don't know if he runs like slot style like routes. I know sometimes they'll split him out here and there. I don't know how much that'll affect it, but Diggs is just a target earner. He's going to get a ton of targets. Drake May is QB, like he's my QB1 in exposure. I'm at 19 or 20%. I didn't have a whole lot of Diggs with the May that I had previously, so I've started forcing it, kind of like what Sandy's doing. Also, like on Underdog, his ADP is in the 9th round. If you go over to DraftKings, Stephon Diggs' ADP is like 80. He goes right here where Egbuka, Burt, like I've seen him go all the way up to like pick 65. It gets, but it is DraftKings, so expect crazy. This Tank Bigs, man, this 12 hole has a killer team going. Genty, Henry, Xavier Worthy, JMO, Najee, Jennings, Golden, Bo Nix with the triple stack, Tank Bigsby with Trevor Lawrence. He's going to backstack Trevor Lawrence. Most likely take Bretton Strange when it comes back around. Like, that's a very well built team. I really like what he's doing. You have a few Lamar Purdy teams. Seems like a solid combo for a two. Yeah, absolutely. Had a draft with Diggs at 150 pre-Pats news. I wish I had like 6% Diggs. I definitely feel really bad that I wasn't more in on him. 80 is too high. Like, and I'm not saying 80 is too high for Travis Hunter, but it's definitely too high in these contests that have been open with him available in the 120s. Post draft, whatever his price is will be his price. Do you think DK drafters come to Underdog and think it's off? Absolutely. They're like, well, I can get. Yeah, absolutely. There's no way that they look at the ADP here, and like I can't really say much. I got crushed on DraftKings last year too, so but I was also on DraftKings. I went pretty extreme zero RB, and that was not the move last year. So, all right. So, still need a tight end. Dallas Goddard this late. I think I'm always in. I might just take 2 running backs though. Probably a Dylan Sampson share. And do we want to go ahead and triple stack with Isaac Guerrero, or do we want Rico? Do we want Trey Benson? Um, I think I take. Do you think I want Goddard? Why do you think I want Goddard? Because you wanted Sampson? Is that why? I think I'm happy with one of the other tight ends later. So I'll go ahead and take Guerrero, get my third nine or fourth niner if we count Purdy. This team is very team correlated. Okay. Yeah. I have a lot of Samson. I'm 16% Samson. Uh, and honestly, I probably take Jerome Ford there if you don't. So, like, of that group, of those 6 players, those are the four I was looking at the most. Goddard as was like fifth on that list. You'd say the opposite is true too, though. Is that with the DK drafters and stuff? 40 years Pats fan, he's going to make a difference, but he not might play for 5 to 7 weeks. People don't understand that. I, I, the stuff I've been hearing is that at most he's going to miss like 2 games, and maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's coaches lying or not knowing. Maybe I'm just being wishful on that. We go to DK and see people slip way past ADP all the time and such. Yeah. Yeah, like the one thing I like about drafting on DK and underdog is like Caleb Johnson. I have very little Caleb Johnson on underdog, and I'm like 16% on DK. Because Caleb Johnson goes at pick 100 ish. Luther Burden, same thing. Like, I like Matthew Golden and Egbuka more than Burden, but they all go around pick 100 also on DK. So, like, I feel okay just taking Burden over them sometimes just to get some exposure to him because he does have a big upside. And I feel a lot better about spending the 100th pick than the 85th pick on him. You'll take the over on the 2 games. Okay. Yeah, you probably know more about it than I would then if you're listening to the local reports. I'm just stuff that I've seen on Twitter here and there. Even if it's 1 to 3 games, he is 32 and won't come back spry and youthful right now. But you think you'll get? Yeah, that's fair. His route running is really good, and it's not like his competition at the wide receiver position is that insane. I'm surprised that the 12 hole did not take Bretton Strange there. Maybe he's trying to push Strange, which is probably not a good move because I still need another tight end, and I do like Strange. I don't have a lot of Strange. I got onto him late after he rose. Um, Devin Neal at 151. Like I still I do like him above Javonte Williams, but Rashad White feels mispriced to me, and so does Dowdle. I like that Dowdle pick, Jack. It was Jack, right? Jack Powell? Yeah. We'll look at his team real quick and then go through Aaron Sandys. Brian Thomas, Brock Bowers, DJ Moore, Brees Hall, Chris Godwin, Kenneth Walker, Caleb Johnson. Yeah, Caleb Johnson, 82. That's about where I want to be taking him. Baker Mayfield, stacked with Godwin, Sharbs, Kelsey at 111 is fine. Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, both. I like them in the opposite order, but you got both. It's fine. Jalen Coker, Rico Dowdle, Aaron Sandy, Bijan, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans got sniped on Jaden Daniels. So he got Cortland Sutton, Jordan Addison, Quinshaw Judkins, TJ Hawkinson, Jalen McMillan, Stephon Diggs, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Jerome Ford, Trey Benson. I like it. He's going to pick up a third quarterback at some point, most likely. CMC doesn't feel good to you at all. Yeah. And that's a good point. CMC in full PPR does feel better. And when I say I need to get some CMC shares, I literally have 0 in almost 300 drafts between the 3 websites. So I need to get some of him. I mean, I need to get a share of him, at least a single share. So I won't do it to you. I promise. Do I need... At wide receiver, I think I take him. I don't have a lot of Tyler Algier, and I have quite a bit of Bijan Robinson. And I heard some people last year talking, and this is a really good point. If you're in on Bijan Robinson because you're in on that offense, you should probably also be in on Algier on the teams that you don't have Bijan to leverage your own points, right? So, like, if you're in on this offense because you think this offense is going to be lit, you should want all the pieces, and you should protect your all of your Bijan exposure by having some Algier exposure. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. That's not saying like have 15% Bijan and then 30% Algier, but like to at least be at 8% or whatever of the backups of the studs that you're overexposed on. 0 shares of CMC on underdog, but 12% on DK. That is a very fair stance. About 350 drafts in between DK, UD, and underdog, and 5 shares of that is 5 more than I have. That'll get me one of 2 ways. It is getting close to Ben Haskell's favorite time of the draft. As soon as round 16 hits, Ben Haskell gets excited. I think Ben actually sits around in these like in all these streams just to like wait and see who gets Harold Fannin. And this team is actually perfect for Harold Fannin. Got an elite tight end with a semi risky tight end. Oh, he doesn't even hide it. He's like, "Yep, that's me." A huge on Bijan, but I'm around the field on Algier. I get what you're saying, but they're separate bets. They are. If you were in on Saquon, you didn't want Gainwell in the non-lineups. Oh, I'm not saying to reach on him. I'm saying just don't have 0 of that player. Like just take him at ADP or whatever. Like that was exactly at ADP. And I have very little. Like I haven't done what I was talking about. I have like 3% Algier. I personally like I like Damian Martinez more than Algier, to be fair. I've been on that since this whole thing started, before he started getting all the buzz he's got. That doesn't mean I'm going to draft Martinez in round 15 over Algier just because, like, why I don't need to. But it also means whenever I'm looking at running back 6 to finish out my running backs, and I can wait a round or 2 and pick up Martinez, who I like as like a little more than Algier, I'm probably just going to pass on Algier. I'm not even a. I actually went over this in one of my early videos before I really let people know that I was streaming. And I could bring up the chart. I don't know if you have PFF, but I could bring up the weekly finishes chart. Hey, look, somebody else likes Damian Martinez. Love the pick. Um, I just he is 100% a contingent upside bet, right? Algier. As the season went on, he started like Bijan just got more and more work, and Bijan absolutely destroyed the back half of the season, right? And they made it pretty clear that it's going to be I don't know what, like a 75-25, maybe even 80% backfield. And Algier actually didn't, the only weeks he had any fantasy value at all were weeks where he got touchdowns. Like, um, let me go over here. I'll bring it up. Oh, you're 3%. Yeah. And I actually like Algier is kind of in the same boat as Zay Flowers to me. All right, well, I need some wide receivers by ADP. I regretfully took a single share of him. I might just team stack that and because it, do I want to do that? I have enough Jack Besh. I think I'll go ahead and just take Kyle Williams here. It's as my second rookie. All right, we'll bring that back up. And let me find. Here we go. Of course, it reset. So Tyler Algier right here. Weekly finishes last year 59, 34, 53, 30, 48, 11, 40, 46, 33, 35, 69 by week. 57, 21, 43, 51, 63. That is not good. And then Bijan 19, 16, 17, 27, 28. And then they started using him all the time. 4, 10, 6, 11, 1, 27 by 2, 9, 15, 8, 4, and 2. So that's why I'm a little low on Tyler Algier because if Bijan's healthy, he's just not going to get the work. Like, and I get it. As a contingent upside bet, though, like, he's perfectly fine where he's being drafted. Like, I'm just a little low on him. Yeah, I don't know what my exact percent on him was. I just guess that it's around there. How do you even spell Algier? Two L's. I guess I'm a 5%. And most of that exposure is over the last week and a half because I realized that I probably want a couple more shares of him. Like he's not a bad pick, but it's a pick that requires something to happen for it to be like something major to happen for it to be a good pick. And I mean at that price, like if they're going to use the running back that often and Bijan gets hurt in week 15 for 2 games and you get him for week 16, 17 as your sixth running back in an offense that's supposed to be pretty good and Algier's a good talent, like that is an absolute smash pick at that point, right? And that's what you're hoping for with this, or that's what I'm like with an Algier share. That's how I think it gets home. Aaron Rodgers on the 12 hole. The first thing I don't completely agree with, like this draft is very solid though. Like it's hard to really argue. And I haven't looked at the quarterbacks for a while. Maybe he's just trying to add a third starter. Um, Aaron Sandy did pick up his third quarterback earlier with Cam Ward. Um, did he get? I think I know what his plan is. It's probably going to happen right here. Harold Fannin, I did not get. Sorry, Ben. I was going to take him at this turn if he was available. I let you down. Yeah, it was. I needed a wide receiver over a tight end. Is what it was. It wasn't the one player over the other. It was I needed a wide receiver. You have less confidence in the other starters with contingent players around Algier. Yeah, and that's another fair point. And I think one of the most mispriced players on the board now is Braylon Allen. Like Braylon Allen feels pretty good to me. Think I'm gonna take. Think I'm gonna take Mason Taylor here, and do I want to take MVS? Do I want to take maybe a Torrey Horton share? I think I'll take MVS, get some divisional correlation with San Francisco, get my 8th wide receiver. I have one more spot available. I'm probably going to add on a random running back because I didn't start my running backs until late. And this is a 0 RB team for sure. Hey, thanks for forgiving me. What did I think you were going to do there? Oh, I thought you were going to take the player who was drafted at 206. I missed that he was drafted at 206. That's my bad. No, I was thinking maybe you were looking at Chig there with just Zach Ertz and Hawkinson as your tight ends. That was probably your plan when you took Jack Bech, hoping that Chig came back around. And I honestly have Jack Bech over Kyle Williams. I just have 25% of Jack Bech and 8% of Kyle Williams. And Kyle Williams is more of a power play because he wasn't drafted until 50% of this tournament was done. Allen is also the 3 to 4 year starter than some of the rookie running backs. Yeah. Oh, 3 or 4 years younger. Yeah. Yeah, he is because he was 21 when he came out last year, right? Uh, and a couple of these running backs coming out are 24, I believe, which that's going to be a common thing that comes out as well. I mean, I mentioned like 2 weeks ago that with the way the contracts are and the rookie, like the 5th year option stuff with, or next year was the year that Brees had to get paid. Like I talked about that a couple weeks ago. I don't think it happens. I still think it's just a possibility, but it was something that I'm like, I think Braylon is a little underpriced because of this. And I think Brees, like, what team is going to trade for Brees Hall that doesn't make Brees Hall a better pick on the board? Yeah. I mean, unstacked Chig is fine. Like, it's a last round tight end. You're just throwing things at the wall, right? Let's see if your pick gets sniped again. Is it Tay Martin? I know that name. So on my points per game file, I have Tay Martin played one game last year and had like 11. Yeah, Brees at the 3-4. Man, like I go back and forth on it. Like Justin Fields isn't great. I don't love it at the Jets. Like I'm not a big fan of the offensive line or their team. Uh, I got burnt by all of them last year. But man, if he gets traded, and I've said this a bunch, if I'm Brett Veach and I hear Brees Hall is actually on the block, like our like pick like what 96 or whatever, like sure, here you go. Here's 96. We'll take Brees Hall. Think, hey, thank you DT for showing up. It's going really well. You really like my content. I'm catching the very end of this live stream. It looks like. When are you going live next? I'm going live tomorrow at 4 p.m., but I'm probably going to run a second draft. I can run it on DK or on Underdog. anybody who wants one or the other, type it in chat. And after this, and I go over this team, uh, we will be doing that. So if you have a preference, let me know. Ben probably like Ben. Can Ben even draft on DK? I know he can on Underdog. His draft button got broke, as he says. This is a Keaton Mitchell team. This feels like a Keaton Mitchell team. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like I've streamed 2 DraftKings things, and it's a total mess. Like an absolute mess. Yeah, like who who would not be 100% in on Brees Hall going to the Chiefs? Mahomes absolutely will check down to running backs, right? Um, and a third round pick is pretty solid for a player who would be openly on the market. And then KC could also, like, we have picks 31, 30, or 63, and 66. We have pick 66 from the Titans in the corner, L'Jarius Sneed. When L'Jarius Sneed got traded, we acquired that last year for this year. So one of those 3 picks to me is definitely going to be a running back. If we could just attack the offensive line and get another pass rusher with those 3 picks and take our late third and turn that into Brees, like that is absolutely the right play. And Brett Veach very seldomly makes bad decisions. Like, I mean, there's a reason Kansas City has been really good for a while. All right, so if you were in the draft and you'd like me to go over your team, say something. I'll go over mine, and then whenever I'm done reviewing some teams, I will go do an underdog draft since there's only one single vote, and it's underdog. Uh, Team Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy pulled Lamar up because I had the 101. I want some Lamar with uh, Jamar Chase. So Lamar, Brock Purdy, both stacked. David Montgomery, Ramondre, Cam Scatabo, Dylan Sampson, Isaac Garendo, Tyler Algier. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tet, Ricky P., Rashad Bateman, Diami Brown, Kyle Williams, NVS. Tight ends, George Kittle, Bretton Strange, Mason Taylor. I think this is a very solid team. I've done 2 teams now where I pull Lamar up to pair with Jamar Chase for divisional. Like, most likely they play at least week 15, 16, or 17. So one of those weeks you should get something out of it. And it's going to be unique pairings. Nobody said anything about team reviews, so I don't give a countdown, but I will tell you, I'll just say, okay, 10 seconds, I will be drafting. No countdown, just in 10 seconds, I will join a lobby. If you have not yet, please like and subscribe. It's I'm pretty new to this, but everything is appreciated. 6 of 12 again, like the first time. I do want to shout everybody out in the community that has helped me out. Number 1, Best Ball Guy. He was one of the first to shout me out on his stream, or he actually shouted me out on PPR Tyler's stream. PPR. Hey, thanks for showing up. Appreciated, man. Great draft. Enjoy your night. PPR Tyler does really good content as well. Off the Schneid, he was in here earlier. Fanspeak Network. The Pound, Pat hasn't made it in yet today. The Pound is awesome. Like he's so easy to listen to. And if you're not a part of the Pounds Discord, it it's very thorough. Let's go. You're running it back. Sweet. And if I missed anybody, or if anybody else in here has a channel and would like a shout out, like, I'm about the community. So yeah, the Discord is something like, it's very thorough. It has some bad personalities in it. Um, but I mean, as long as you don't let it get to you, it's kind of humorous at times. And the other thing I was going to say is to all the viewers so far, like, I've only been shouted out for like a week and a half now. I had 50 some subscribers. I don't know what I'm at currently. I don't know if I've got any today. Um, and but we already hit 100 watch hours, which I feel like is pretty reasonable for the amount of videos that I've had with actual views. So shout out to everybody who's helping out, or just enjoys the content. I prefer that you enjoy it. Anything I do that you do not like, let me know. Uh, I'm willing to talk about it. I'm willing to change things up. It's just appreciated. Jack's in the 7 hole here. Did Law Simo is in the 4. Neighbors with him. Hulk Smashed Potatoes got in at the 111. I've seen M Wolf a bunch. Man, I almost want to take a share of Saquon here, but I'm not going to. Oh, are you two beefing? Is Aaron Sandy and Lawsimo beefing? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, no, he is. He's a really good drafter. That makes one of us in this room. I'm here for a good time. Hey, thank you. I told somebody, like, there was a person that gave me a comment yesterday, said something like that, and I just said, I'm just a DJ out here doing my best. Like, that's all I'm doing. Just charging through. Like, I'm here to have a good time, to hang out with people, and to create, like, I would like to create a community, like, of people. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, so I fully understand that. Weirdly, like, I'm one of the very few people out there, like, I love football. And but I don't think a tournament style in anything proves who the best team was. I've So, like, yes, I want us to be in the Super Bowl every year, but it's because I want to watch us play more games. Yeah. Hey, we all have something that everybody else. I don't know what just happened. Maybe, hopefully, nothing bad. But I clicked Hartman's thing and it said message restricted. Hopefully, I didn't ban him or something. Like, a menu popped up, and I tried to click off of it, and I might have clicked something else. Oh, the beard does do wonders. Uh, but no, like, I've been a Chiefs fan for a very long time, and people were like, "Man, I'm sorry to hear that your Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl." I'm like, it's fine. Like, life as a Chiefs fan has been great. I went through 20ish years of never, like, we didn't win a playoff game. Like, the Cowboys, like, the longest streak without a playoff win. Like, we were number 2 that whole time, I believe. Uh, So it felt really good to get a couple in there. And we have like we've won enough. Like I'm happy no matter like if we fall apart this year, I'm still happy. Like I'm not gonna be greedy with it. Now, I would like us to win more. True Alpha, Travis D. Holmes, Terry McLaurin in 19. Let's see if he's getting unique, if he's going to try to pull Jaden up here and to force that. Like, there are probably very few Jaden teams, Terry Jaden teams. Like, I don't like Terry there for sure. But Jaden Terry, if it ends up being a little unique, like, who knows? Um, I'm a little lower on Tyreek Hill with the Teron Armstead news. It's not guaranteed he gets traded. I have so much Jonathan Taylor with JJ. It's just Jonathan Taylor's always the last every time I get Taylor or Jonathan every time I get Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor is the player who ends up falling from this group. And every time I don't get him, he goes earlier and I would have got something a little more unique. Uh Josh Allen, this is something else I would be willing to do is to pull Josh Allen up on underdog. This is common on DK, but on underdog it's uncommon. Like that is also something that's unique, but you don't get the divisional correlation with it. Um hmm. I think I'll take a share of Josh Jacobs here. I don't have very much. Um a little divisional correlation with JJ. I don't I don't really love Jacobs price, but I'm not completely out on it either. And I have the players I like in the third round. I have so much exposure on. I kind of want to flatten it out a little. You're a Niners fan, so the first Super Bowl between us, I really thought you had it. Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy game, right? It was an absolute crazy game. Yep, Chiefs fans like there's a lot more Chiefs fans around than there was when Brody Croyle was our quarterback. I'll tell you that. Patrick Mahomes did a little bit for the fan base. Brody Croyle did some things for the fan base, and it wasn't the same thing. It wasn't the same thing at all. One of my uncles had dude Alex Smith. I was one of the Chiefs fans who felt bad for Alex Smith and wanted Alex Smith to start. Even though like the year Mahomes started in our first Super Bowl, I wanted Alex Smith starting. Um, so I'll admit I was wrong, but Alex Smith also like in that playoff game, um, against I think it was the Steelers. No, it wasn't the Steelers because I watched that game live. I watched it was the next year, whatever year it was. Like in the first half, Alex Smith was just throwing darts, and Kelsey had like two drops. Tyreek had a drop, and the other wide receiver, I think it was Hardman, maybe I had a drop all in the first half. And as we all know, like Alex Smith's worst trait is that he lets things get to him in within a game, and he seemed to lose confidence, and he looked really bad in the second half. Um, and I think that game is kind of why they ended up going with Mahomes. I mean, we never heard anything on it, but it definitely felt like that. But he was absolutely on fire in the first half, and our team just couldn't catch the ball. Jackson Mahomes TikTok probably get them a lot more fans. I can say that I've never looked at Jackson Mahomes TikTok. think you mean lots. Them a lot of fans. Yeah. Yep. So he took Terry and then passed Jaden Daniels and gets Jaden back. Like, why can't I have this luck? Like, I thought maybe he was going to take Jaden there to force it. He didn't, and it just happens for him. Hulk smashed potatoes, super heavy run or wide receivers here. This is probably going to be Rashee Rice's new price. And what he's about to do is something that I was going to do if I was on that half of the board. I like where you're at. I think I just take Hampton here every single time. If Hampton's available, past pick 42, I think I'm just going to take him every time. Oh, did you? I mean, it would have been no different than taking Lamar, right? Like they're both. I have them as my quarterback 1 and 2 this year, and Josh Allen is quarterback 3. All the same tier, all basically the same rating. Um, I just we know that the Commanders and Ravens like they're the pieces on their offense that worked are back. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Chris Godwin. I think Chris Godwin is one of the best prices on the board. He was wide receiver 2 last year, points per game. He should absolutely be healthy at the end of the season. So we get Losimo, took my lad. I actually haven't been able to get lad lately. I'm not getting picks between 6 and 9. Like I'm just not getting them at all on any website. Uh, but so he went Saquon, Lad, Wilson, Devontae, Kittle. If he hadn't taken Devontae, I would have still taken Hampton, but if he would have taken Hampton, I would have did what he tried here and tried to push Hurts around the corner. Hurts is going in the 5th quite often now. I think we're going to see some of these late teams with Devontae Smith at this back half get Jalen Hurts back around. I think those are going to be some really good teams. I am not 100% sure if there are, Hartman. It was a dislocated ankle, right? Deebo Samuel goes the pick before the Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin drafter. Love to see it. We got DK Metcalf doesn't usually go this high either. Let's see what he's doing. I know we have a DK Metcalf homer here. Not homer, but a believer. CeeDee Lamb, Bucky Irving, Kyron, DK, Deebo. It felt pretty okay until Deebo 10 picks before ADP. We got Chuba at 59. Like Chuba at 59 and Mixon at 57 feel awesome. Those are some good picks. I'm rooting for Hulk Smash here. Yeah, Chuba, Kenneth Walker. Like if Seattle's offensive line improves, Kenneth Walker could be the best pick on the board. Uh, he improved in the passing game last year quite a bit. Every offseason move they've made has made everyone believe that they're going to run the ball more. And that's part of the reason they let go of their OC from last year, from my belief. Trying to take less Tet because you have too much, but can't pass on him here. Yeah, well, if you like him there, you should draft on DK because his average ADP is 60. Just so you know. And Tet, earlier I said like like Caleb Johnson. There's some players, like almost all of the rookies go like an entire round later on DK. I have a lot of Tet on DK. Najee Harris, that's a pick that I kind of do like. Calvin Ridley gets taken the pick before me. I do not need another. I mean, I basically need a slam receiver. I think I take the team correlation here. I only have. I don't have much Jacobs with Jaden Reed, so yeah. Oh man, Walker. Walker is a scary pick, but like his offensive line was the worst in the league last year. You know, like is it gonna be the worst like multiplicatively this year? Like he was okay last year. Um, I don't think the offensive line can really get any worse. And they're going to focus on the run game more than the pass game. And they have extra draft picks. The middle of this draft is just littered with offensive line talent, especially interior offensive line talent, which is the spot that they needed the most help. Like they needed guard center guard by far more than anything else. Than if you listen to Josh and Hayden at all, like Josh Norris constantly talks about that. He gives you Barkley vibes, poor O line injuries, home run ability. Oh yeah, I mean he maybe the Eagles will have him in 2 years and he'll have a breakout year or something. You know. Um, do I just? I think I just take. I think I'll go ahead and take a share of Egbuka this time over Golden. So through 7 rounds, I have Josh Jacobs, Amarian Hampton, Justin Jefferson, Chris Godwin, Jaden Reed, Emeka Ibuka, and Trey McBride. Very solid team. Not overly strong at any position, but I feel very strong at all of the positions which I've drafted. You wish this, Hartman, I wish the Seahawks would have signed some O linemen in free agency. They've been really bad at. You're not wrong on them being bad on drafting it. Maybe the new OC is better at it. Maybe he has a better take with it. Um, I'm curious to what happens. Like I see a bunch of mock drafts having Colston Loveland go into the Seahawks. I really hope that that doesn't happen. Just like not that it wouldn't be good for Loveland, but for my Kenneth Walker shares, I'm like 15% Kenneth Walker. I've cooled down a lot on him. Um, but early I had a ton of him. I had like 20% early, and I've been taking a little less, evening out exposures basically. Like I kind of want to be at between 12 and 15% on him, so I'm fine with that. Loveland to Chargers is your hope? Oh yeah, like I totally get that. Like you can say a player is like a player and not think that they're that talented player, right? Just stylistically, the same player. The way when he pops, Hulk Smash lands the plane here with Patrick Mahomes double stack. Love to see it. This is something earlier today. I didn't mention it, but like before the if I got a late pick today, which I have not, I got pick 1 and pick 3. This is exactly what I was going to try. Like if I got a late pick today, I was absolutely going to double stack KC and hope to get him back, Mahomes back, because I think this pocket here in the 5-6 turn, where you have Joe Mixon falls down here, Chuba falls down here. You can take Connor, Henderson, Walker, Judkins, Kamara. All of those players are really good value to me. and you could just take two running backs and feel very solid about it. So I love what he done there. It is something that I'm wanting to get a share or two of in my final few drafts. I have 25, 26 left, I think. So Caleb Williams goes to the DJ Moore drafter. Love it. What's Simo done? Yeah, that's why I didn't really say anything. I said I see what he's doing. I don't want to put it out there and be the reason that happened. Whenever we get back past my pick and Simo makes his next pick, I will go look at his team again. I think I have to take Baker Mayfield here. I don't have a quarterback yet. It's a little past ADP. Chris Godwin could easily be the number one there. Let's go. What do we have? Okay. This is what I want. What is the worst team doing? He's taking my players. That's what he's doing. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. You know, I haven't taken Jalen McMillan in a while. I think we just go ahead and double stack Baker here. I'm good with it. I think this is fine. This is a what if Mike Evans gets hurt team. I have a lot of Mike Evans. I mean, Godwin was the number one last year when he played. I don't think it's an outlandish thing. If you let's look at Godwin's stats last year. He played 7 games. He had 50 receptions in 7 games. 50. 7 games, 5 touchdowns. Almost 7 games, almost 600 yards, 50 receptions, and 5 touchdowns. You multiply all those numbers by 3. I mean, I guess it'd be like 2.8. That's close to 1,500, 14 touchdowns, and 150, 135 receptions. That's a nutty season. Not saying that it would have tracked and kept that pace, but that was the pace he was on. Evans played in some of those games. Let's look. Because it was weeks 1 through 7. He played in all of them. Evans started missing time the same time Godwin did. Vaporware. Yesterday I was in a room with a guy who took 19 rookies and Benson thoughts. He's a braver man than I. That's my that's my thought. He is braver than I am. Which one? So what did he do? Genty and then Hampton? Or was it like Genty and then Kyle McCord or something random? Because I actually seen a Kyle McCord in the 2nd round draft like a month ago. So I'm wondering if it's the same guy and with a revised strategy. The super secret tech. I will check it after this. And welcome Vapor. Yeah, so Chris Godwin could definitely be he was the wide receiver 1 on the Bucs last year. While healthy. And yes, they lost Liam Cohen, but Baker Mayfield, Godwin, Evans, Rashad White, that's the core of that offense. I know Bucky is the running back of choice, and he deserves to be, but that's the core of that offense. And they've had two different coordinators in 2 years and had very good offensive seasons 2 years in a row. I think that offense is going to produce again. Like, why would they not? They know what works. They know how each other plays. They have continuity. They have some young talent that showed up late last year in Jalen McMillan and Bucky Irving. Their offensive line was really good. I believe they were a top 5 offensive line. I think I'll have to research, like look that up again. But I think the Bucks are one of those teams that I personally am targeting players on. Ramondre goes at 102. I kind of think Ramondre needs to go back here where like Camp Scatabo goes. Like I didn't love taking him last time. I just I think here and there when a player falls a little bit and you have no exposure to him, it's okay to take him, even though it feels gross. Hmm. I really want to take Drake May, but I have 2 Packers, so we'll do the smart thing. We'll take Jordan Love. Got Jordan Love with Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed with a Justin Jefferson in that same division. Hopefully, player I like comes back around. Genty, Hampton, Tet, Henderson, Judkins, Burden, Caleb, Warren, Scatabo, Higgins. I wonder, did anybody see what was going on? Uh, I will definitely take Tucker Kraft, get the triple stack here, have the Jordan Love with all 3 tiers of the offense, the running back, maybe the wide receiver one, and the secret weapon in Tucker Kraft. Dart Arroyo, and then why not another rookie tight end? Like, yeah, it's not like he ran out of rookies to take. Like Sanat makes it feel really bad. Like or really weird, I guess I should say. Not bad, but weird. Um Feels like the Vikings Packers are always at the end of the season too. Yeah, it's been what, 2, maybe 3 seasons in a row. The bad thing is that Justin Jefferson has never been successful versus them in a week 17. I don't even know if Jefferson's had a good game against the Packers ever. Man, I have one single Benson not share, and it feels really bad. Like it feels so bad. If you are just joining the channel, please like and subscribe. It'd be appreciated. You have one, and it was early. Well, what made mine feel gross is it was just a bad decision because I took Ertz also. So it like I mean I had Jaden Daniels and I had no stack because you can't get Terry McLaurin with Jaden. Um, and I was just like, I felt like pretty good about my team, and I'm like, screw it, I'll add in Ben Sinnott in case Zach Ertz doesn't get signed, right? Like I was like, Zach Ertz was like pick 190 then, so it was 2 really late picks just to guarantee a roster spot. But then Deebo Samuel got signed by the Commanders, and now Ben Sinnott's fullback position is filled, so he's kind of a dead pick. Jefferson has good games sometimes. The first time they play, the second time, okay. You take more Ertz, Eckler, or McCaffrey. Ertz. A lot of Ertz. Ertz is one of my top 4 drafted tight ends. My top 4 drafted tight ends are Brock Bowers. Or my top 5, I believe, are in some order. It's like Bowers, McBride, Ertz, Cole Kmet, and Kate Otten. Tucker Kraft's kind of up there. They're all around between 15 to 13%, something like that. Like none of my tight end exposures are extremely high. I said I'd go over Simo's team, and I completely forgot. So it's Saquon Barkley, Lad McConkey, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, George Kittle, Calvin Ridley, Matthew Golden, Tony Pollard, Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, stacking Justin's at quarterback. Gotta love it. DeAndre Swift. And at this price, like I'm fine with Swift. I don't have very much of him, but I am fine with it there. Um, I'm done at tight end. I could be done at quarterback. I think I just take Tajay Spears. I'm pretty in on Tajay Spears. I know that there was a report that came out that said that they might try to use 3 running backs this year. But man, that offensive line is so much better. Um, and they don't have a third running back that matters yet. So I mean, they could draft somebody, but Spears was very productive at the end of the season when Pollard was out. Cam Ward is going to elevate that offense because it'll be hard for him to be worse than Will Levis was. Um, so I like Tajay Spears quite a bit. In best ball, Zach Ertz, Ben. I assume that's what Ben means. How many big boards do I have left? This is like my 120th or something like that. Congrats on winning 4 BBM 6 teams. Oh, uh, what's crazy about that is I won those 4, and Off the Schneid actually donated the one he won also to me. So shout out to him. Uh, I will definitely use that here, and I will probably, whenever I figure out how to invite people to the channel, I will invite him, and I'll just go ahead and draft that team with him if he would be willing. Uh, Bryce Young falls all the time. I think I'll just go ahead and take Xavier Legette here. Be willing to take Bryce Young if he falls back. Yeah, I started using Streamlabs instead of StreamYard. It's free, but I don't know how to do a whole lot of things with it yet. I've been trying to learn in my off time. When I figure out how to get guests and stuff, like I don't even know how that works on here on StreamYard. I believe you just send them a link and that auto does it for you. On this, I have to individually set up every single window. Is how it works. So uh, it'll take some time, but I will get that done. Uh, Ben saying ball Zach Ertz. My ball Zach Ertz. So got it. But Fantasy Football Garage. Uh, he he also has a channel, and this is Candyman for those of you who do not know. He started streaming here and there, I think later in the evenings. Uh, he did the first one I watched. He was doing some Dynasty content, and it was pretty good. I liked it. He went through a couple, like I think he went through a 7 round mock draft and was looking at like possible landing spots for rookies. It's interesting information for sure. Yeah, we can argue about Ashton Genty. And actually, like I know, like I rib him about Ashton Genty a little bit, but hey, if you think there's a slight edge in something, use it. Like like with me and Zay Flowers, I think it's a slight edge to not take him in the fourth round. I don't think I think he should absolutely be a fifth round pick. The CMC not being like I'm worried about his health. Um, and I don't I just I kind of worry that Trent Williams is going to not be healthy again as well. And if that happens, like he's not really that whole offense was a lot worse without Trent Williams. So it's just a pick that I'm just scared. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared, and I don't see a world in which I mean, in a single week season, anything can happen. But for the course of an entire season, I don't think McCaffrey could possibly like bury me to the point that like Saquon did last year. The running back usage is much higher in the NFL. More people are scoring a lot more points. So yeah, I mean it is absolutely nuts. And he's been injured a little bit in the last few seasons. Like I do need to go research and make sure that I'm right on that. Because if it was just last year and he was fully healthy in 2023, maybe I need to like I'm probably going to be like not pro McCaffrey but not anti McCaffrey after the draft. Just because it'll be like I kind of feel like I've already made my bed in this tournament. So, all right, I don't really need another tight end. Kate Otten is here. Um I could use another. What pick is this? This is like pick 160, right? 166. Yeah, I'll take another Devin Neal share. It's a reasonable pick here. 13 picks of ADP. I know that he goes all over the place. Um, but I don't love the pick, but with a little bit of ADP value, I feel like I have two guaranteed starters in Hampton and Josh Jacobs every week. Tajay Spears, kind of a spike week, high risk guy. Devin Neal, kind of the same. I can kind of go wherever I want here. I think I would like another quarterback at some point, but the Thielen drafter on the other end did what I was going to do and taken. But honestly, I'm kind of okay with just these two at quarterback. I think I'll just roll the dice, and if Daniel Jones is there in the seventh or the 20th round, I'll tack him on. Um, but not super worried about that. Think think I need a wide receiver here or a running back. I'm going to go ahead and take Braylon Allen, pull him up the board a little bit. Like, if there's any truth at all to the Brees Hall stuff, like, number one, I don't think that if Brees Hall gets traded, that there's I don't think like the Jets have made a lot of bad decisions in their lifetime. But to trade Brees Hall away and then replace like get like let's say a third or fourth for him and then use your first round pick on Ashton Genty seems like the most insane thing you could possibly do, right? Like I don't under like I would be floored if that's what happens. Now, yeah, yeah. Even if he stays, Braylon, especially if the three-headed backfield thing is real. Like Braylon Allen has not moved up, and that's the weird thing about this. Let's see where Brees Hall went in this draft. Brees Hall pick 40 for the first section of this, he was going between 29 and 34 forever. He's been dropping down. I see him down where I drafted Hampton. Like, if that price is wrong, like, or if this price is right because everybody's doing that, then doesn't that by correlation make this pick wrong? Doesn't that mean this pick should be higher on the board? Hulk Smash knows that Damian Martinez is not going to make it back to him. Love the pick. What we got going on here? Did he get boxed out at? Looks like he got boxed out at quarterback 2. Sometimes you just have to take a naked Tua because nobody, like, I mean, if all the players you have went, because yeah, I think Penix went early here, right? Yeah, Penix went early, all that. Right, like, if the current Brees price is correct, there is no way that the Braylon Allen price is also correct. And Braylon Allen it's not like he's untalented. He is a solid running back. Playing DeAndre Hopkins here, I don't think, like, that's a pick that I'm probably going to regret not having more of. Naked to it is what you need. There's a 5 quarterback team. Wasn't sure. Yeah, right. Like, sometimes it just happens. Like, I I I have some naked quarterbacks that I don't feel very proud of in my portfolio. Definitely have some of those. Um, I think I take, yeah, I'll take AD Mitchell here. That puts me at 7 and 5. I'll tack on a late wide receiver. I feel very, very solid at every position here. I mean, it might actually be Tua. Yeah. And Penix generally, like, his ADP was where your next pick was. I totally understand what happened there. Uh, it might be Tua, and if it's not Tua, it's actually probably Jared Goff because Jared Goff goes earlier, right? Like like if they were the same ADP, it would probably be Tua. But because Jared Goff goes like 3 rounds earlier, it's probably Jared Goff. And it's harder to do because there's like 5 players on the Lions that go before him. So not only like you don't have any backstack option with Jared Goff. So if you take naked Jared Goff, like what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? I'll just go ahead and pull up Daniel Jones here. I feel very good about my team having Jacobs, Hampton, Spears, Neal, Braylon Allen. Once Martinez and Allen go off the board, I feel like there's a pretty big cliff. So like whatever with my last running back, I will take another. But like, do I want Nick Chubb or Elijah Mitchell or Justice Hill? I guess there's an argument for Ollie Gordon. Not one I'm going to make, but there is an argument. Uh, Jefferson, Godwin, Jaden Reed, Egbuka, Jalen McMillan, Xavier Legette, Adonai Mitchell. That's actually why I ended up taking Adonai, is because I was planning on coming back around with Daniel Jones, Trey McBride, and Tucker Kraft. Like, I probably stop at those 2 tight ends there. I'll probably end up with 9 receivers. So I should probably look at receivers before my next pick. Yeah, I think it's after I was talking through it a little bit, like I think it's absolutely Goff, and mostly because like with Tua, at least you have some options. Like if Malik Washington is a solid player, right? Sorry, I don't want to. I didn't say anything about the Mahomes, and it's only one pick before you right now. So if that was your plan, just go ahead and do it here. Um, but like that's a solid pick, and Malik Washington, if Tyreek Hill gets traded, could be one of the better picks on the board, right? Like I absolutely believe that. Got Hulk Smash over here thinking Darius Slayton, another solid veteran pick. Um, if you were in this draft and you would like me to review your team, once I've picked in the 20th round, say something. I'll get to it. So I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard about the Isaiah Bond, like Jermaine Burton compare like stuff. Man, I was out on Isaiah Bond before I heard that, and now I can't be even more out, right? Like he was going at 150 forever, and that whole time I said he should be at one. He should be around 200. Then he starts going around 200 because of the slow 40, right? And like at the combine, he actually looked like a better football player than I expected him to. So I'm like, well, maybe I could take him at 200. Well, I'm glad I haven't because if there's also character concerns, I'm completely out. Yeah, I mean, he's not even high compared to where he was before. It is getting close to Ben Haskell's favorite time of the draft. I mean, do you take a third tight end with Trey McBride and Tucker Kraft? I mean, he is on the verge of being undraftable. I've taken him a few times in like round 18, 19 on DK, but it's only because I had zero on underdog. Like I think I've got like 8% of him on DK because of that. That sucks. All right. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I should take a third tight end, having Trey McBride and Tucker Kraft, or you think I should be fine? Like my wide receiver, like I personally feel like all of my positions are pretty solid. Um, a fan in every draft. You avoided, yeah. That is exactly where I'm at with it. I think I go ahead and do I have rookies here? I only have one rookie wide receiver. I'm actually not out on Restrepo yet. I have 20%. I do believe he was hurt. I rarely take him anymore on underdog, but this team could definitely use like I need another rookie here. Um, we will play the hits for Ben. Like this is also the kind of team that if Harold Fannon's a zero, like it doesn't matter because I'm very solid already. But if he actually gets the capital, like it could be awesome. Go back to the draft board. Is this draft board big enough? Do you need me to? Do I need to make it bigger, smaller? What team really doesn't need a third tight end, but Fannin? Yeah, like if I want, like the teams I want Fannin on are teams that I feel like are very solidly built and have two pretty solid tight ends as well. Now, this one probably didn't need it, but maybe I'm overconfident in my team, but I do really like this team. So, yeah, 2 tight ends did seem fine. The chat agreed, and then I threw a curveball and did it anyway. You're welcome. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. No, yeah, it's fine. I if I felt weak, like I get to this point in the draft sometimes and feel like I'm a little weak at like wide receiver or at running back, and I want that extra dart at that position. This is a kind of a best players available scenario, as somebody said. Yeah, like I could be mad at a Harold Fannin pick if it was like Cade Otton, Harold Fannin, and Mason Taylor or something was your 3 tight ends. But that's more of just not being a good enough tight end room. And the uncertainty of like I think you need one certain tight end in a room to make sense with Fannin because of the questions on his draft capital. If Harold Fannin gets round 3 draft capital this year and doesn't go to a team like Kansas City who will have him sit for a year, like he could be just a project guy that a team like the Chiefs or the Ravens take, right? And let him sit and learn behind somebody for a year. That would probably be the smartest thing for Harold Fannin as a NFL franchise. Um, Fannin is the perfect player to do it. I was saying you draft your boards and yeah, I got that. Like best player available, like, and I haven't got a whole lot of Fannin at 219. I had a little bit of, I think I'm 7% total. I'm no bull, but I don't dislike him. And I wonder how many Trey McBride teams are going to have stopped at 2 and not taken a third with like Fannin. And in the playoff week formats, you never know what combination it is that you're going to need to squeak by, right? Because it's all about squeaking by week 15 and 16 so you can actually make money in week 17. Last round, Tutu Atwell, like I do, like I'm. This is what I talk about at the end of every draft. I want to look at the last 3 rounds and see every player that's drafted and see if I forgot about something or if I need to add something. And Tutu Atwell with the new coach speaks, I do need to move him up on my board for sure. Welcome, Omega. Nice to see you. All right, so is this a Sean Tucker team? Yeah, I think that is correct. This could be a Sean Tucker team. All the rookies seem to have went. I think this is a Sean Tucker team. I have Baker. All right, so if you were in the draft and you would like me to go over your team, post it in the chat. I will go over mine now. It's a 3-6-8-3. Quarterbacks: Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, Daniel Jones. Running backs: Jacobs, Amarian Hampton, Tajay Spears, Devin Neal, Braylon Allen, Sean Tucker. Wide receivers: JJ, Godwin, Reed, Egbuka, Jalen McMillan, Xavier Legette, Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Restrepo. Tight ends: McBride, Kraft, Fannin. All right, Jack with the hit the wrong button. With an epic username here, HDJ DHDJDJSK. So I'm looking at your username here and using a bunch of HDs and Js. I don't, and you said it was random. I don't understand how you possibly didn't randomly get an HJ in the middle of there somehow. That's, you missed the boat, sir. All right, quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers. Uh, the quarterback rooms got pretty crazy with the 5 quarterback team. Um, Running backs: Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Jalen Warren, Zach Charbonnet, Pacheco, Sampson, Giddens, Justice Hill. That is a very, very deep running back room. Wide receivers: AJ Brown, JSN, Tet, Luther, Jalen Knoll, DeAndre Hopkins, Kyle Williams, Savion Williams. Correlating Williams, one of my favorite things to do. Colston Loveland, Isaiah Likely. It's a. I'm sure you didn't mean to have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback too. I'm sure some stuff happened, made it bad for you. Lamar is like, I mean, Lamar's Lamar. He should probably start every single week. If he gets hurt, the team's toast anyway. Very deep at running back. And wide receiver, if it's a year rookies hit, this is a very solid team. You got what, 5 rookies, and the oldest man in the NFL. Not really, but D Hop is actually the same age as Cal. Like, I think he's 1 year older than Calvin Ridley. Whittington got into the 160s before Adam signed. Tutu is certainly worth picking with that coach speak. Right. Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually, when I end this stream, I'm going to go into my ranks and move Tutu up right now so I don't forget. But anyway, that is it for today. I will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central. Thanks everybody for showing up. If you haven't, like and subscribe. Also, if you're watching back, like, let me know what you think of the potential new segment. Like, or if you agree on Zay Flowers or not, just let me know. And take care, everybody. I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys in chats tonight. Later.